Hello guys, I'm going to be showing you how to make this pen pal squash book. So confession, I kind of already did the tutorial, that's why it's already made up. I don't usually do sort of showing it to you before I've actually made it, just because I realised that halfway through I didn't have this in focus, and well, halfway through doing the video, editing the video, I noticed that it wasn't in focus, which was really annoying. I thought maybe I could get away with it, but no, yeah, it's something that you need to see. So this is probably why this video is going out really late, and why my project's really late this month. So I really do apologise, Lisa, for it being so late, because I have to do it again. And for February I've just not had any time to craft. Even though I've been on annual leave, I've been so busy, and that's really unusual for me. I've always liked to kind of chill out during my annual leave, but yeah. So I'm going to show you how to use I'm going to show you how to do this squash book. So I wanted to stick to sort of a happy mail kind of theme for my project this month, because it's a happy mail theme box, so I thought it would work well. I didn't want to do like a flip book or something, because you've probably seen loads out there, and I wasn't really feeling in the flip booky kind of mood. So I noticed out there isn't really a lot of ideas for actually decorating your letters, or different kinds of ways to actually, when you're doing your writing letters. So there's loads of videos out there for flip books, but you know, when I have a pen pal, I like to actually write to them. I don't just like making the flip books and then just sending it off and saying hello with a note. I actually like writing. This is a sort of a different version of a letter. If you made it smaller, you could probably put it into a, I mean, it looks quite small anyway, doesn't it? But this wouldn't, I don't think it would fit into a pocket letter. It'd have to be a bit thinner. It'd probably fit this way, but not that way, because it's a bit wide. But you could probably pop it into a flip book. It's quite, well, it's quite flat, unless you put some sort of really, unless you bulk it up really a lot. But you could probably even just put this into an envelope, a small type envelope, and send it on its way. So that's what I've kind of done for this. I've used the lace for it. So when I say squash book, I mean it is, you open it up and you get a letter. So let me open it. Let me sorry, my desk is a complete mess at the moment. There's like watercolors everywhere, and I've noticed that on this table because I put like a cover on it. So this isn't actually the wood, it's yeah, so it stains a lot worse than my white one, which is quite hilarious really, because I put this on because I wanted to protect the white bit then. Anyway, so this is a squash book, so it just goes in like that. It looks a bit more complicated than what it actually is, so I'll just show you how to do it really. I do apologise, I got a froggy throat again. Ever since going on my diet in December, where I was having a lot of really good nutrients and stuff, ever since then I've kind of got I'm hoping this isn't a cold, because otherwise I'm going to be really miffed, because if I have to go off sick from work again, I will trigger and I'll be put on sickness management, which is really, really not what I want right now. So yeah. So I do apologise about the froggy throat. So you can put hello, whoever you're talking to. If this is a new pen pal you're talking to, you could use this as like an about me thing. So you could put your name, your age, where you live, in different bits, your hobbies, you know, things like that, that will tell your pen pal about them, you know, likes and dislikes. Because sometimes letters can be a little bit tedious if you go, my name is this, I like this, and I also like this. So sometimes having like an about me section kind of stops all the repetitiveness. I really don't like getting to know me letters. I like the parts after, where you have already gotten to know your pen pal and you can talk about anything and everything. And I waffle. So I never have nothing to say. If you gave me a letter with like probably like saying hello, how are you, I could probably waffle on for ages. Let's get back to this. Like, you could use it just for a normal letter. You could start here and just, you know, just start a letter. I haven't actually done the back. I was intending to. You could even write on that actually if you wanted to continue writing the letter, but I didn't know how much paper I was going to have and what other projects I was going to do. So you can still decorate the back, but you have to make sure that you have a cover ones and you don't write on the cover ones. So I'm going to show you how to do this now, because my silly camera was not in focus. Probably my fault because I didn't check. I just leapt into the video. So I'm going to start. So I'm going to use some coloured paper. So what I used for this one was coloured paper. Kind of like quite sturdy paper. It could even be like card, but it's not as thick as card because I didn't want it to be too fat. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to cut the papers up because that's always a boring chore, and for my previous video I already had that pre-done. So I'm going to do that now and I shall speak to you in a minute. Okay, so I've got my papers and I have my scoreboard. You don't particularly need a scoreboard, but I'm really bad at folding things, so I have got my scoreboard out. So they're all 6 by 6 inches. I've cut those down to size. If you're doing this with different papers or anything, you can just use normal 6 by 6 paper. Like I've done, I did for like sort of my prototype. So I used 6 by 6 papers there and just kind of use that as my... I like to test things out before I use the stuff from the kit because I always end up messing up, so that's always a good thing to have. If you've got normal paper or got normal card or whatever, have a go at doing it first, and then, because I did have another first go, which was this one, and it didn't go too well because you can see that the sides aren't really flush or anything like that, and they're a bit, yeah, so I didn't do it very well. So sometimes it... drop it on the floor. So sometimes you might just need to test it out first. So I am going to do score lines. When you're doing the squared paper, it probably doesn't matter what size it is as long as it's the sort of square, so you would just halve what you've got. So I'm going to go for the 3-inch. You can see up there. I'm just going to go for 3-inch, and I've got a bone folder that comes with it. Actually, I think I've got 2. I don't know why I've got 2. I think this is from my envelope one. This one already has one. So I'm going to use my bone folder. And I'm just going to score a line. And then I'm just going to fold it. So I like to fold both ways because it means that the squash book folds more easily that way. So I'm just going to fold it both ways. And then just crease the score line. So that is what you do it both sides. Yeah, you do it you do it both ways. I swear when I did this video before, I actually was a lot better at the instructions, because I don't know why. I was just for some reason I was just having a better day. So that is one bit of paper, so both folds. I'm going to do it for the other 2 sheets now, so I'm just going to speed that up. I did that in the other video as well, because sometimes it's just boring watching somebody score things. So yeah, I'm going to do that now. Okay, so they're all scored and folded and whatnot. So after this, you're going to want to fold it to corner, and I'm really rubbish at doing this kind of thing, so I do apologise if you see my head in the shot, but I'm still not wearing my glasses because I still haven't got them adjusted. I don't like getting sores on my nose. So you just fold it down the middle one way. You don't have to do it the other way. So you've got 2 squares and then 2 like triangles in there. So you do it for both of them. I say both of them, for all of them. Okay, so that is that done. I'm going to get this scoring board and cut out the way. So what I did, I use a tape runner. You can use something a bit more substantial. If you're going to be doing it as a mini album, I suggest doing it with like score tape or whatever. But this is just a pen pal letter, so I'm not particularly fussed with it sticking down for a long time. So what you do, you stick it. So you stick it down. So find out which way you're going to be folding it. So the green one I'm going to put in the middle, like I did with the other one, and then it's easier to stick down when you've got these bits pointing upwards, so you kind of know where to stick it and you don't overlap. So I'm going to do that here. Use my tape runner. Ow, just hit my head on my lamp. And then I'm just going to stick it down. Use a square, so you make sure that it's more or less rather flush. Don't stick it over because otherwise it's going to look weird. So you kind of stick it down like that, and then you do the same on the other side. I don't think it really matters which side you do because I've folded it both ways. So that is what it looks like afterwards. So you've got 3 bits of paper there and they're all stuck together here. Another reason why I use this tape is because if I've got it wrong, I can always reposition it. So this is where the moment of truth comes. So you can see that it's bendable, foldable, because I folded it both ways. So this is the bit that kind of confused me a little bit. So I want to just zoom in a little bit here. So starting with this side, so you're going to want to pinch this together. So this is the cover. You're going to want to pinch this together. If it will let me. I think I'm folding it both ways properly. Did I fold it both ways when I think I folded it both ways when I down the middle. Just to make sure it's all nice and folded because it's just easier that way. So you pinch these together, these guys together. So make sure this flap goes upwards. It's like that. So this is the paper. Pinch these together like that. So kind of like you're pinching those together. Pinch this corner to corner. You'll have a little gap that kind of looks like a bird's mouth pointing upwards, and then you just flatten it to create a square. And then you just get your bone folder and then you crease it so it's nice and flush. Like that. So I'm going to show you again on the other side. But now that can come down and it folds easily in and out. I'll do the same on the other side. So go by pinching these guys together. So like that. So you can see that it's pinched there like this. So pinching it. Pinch these together, and then this bit, which is the square, you just flatten like that. And then you crease it. So they both can go in and out easily like that. So kind of like, remember when you were a kid and you had the the fortune thing. I don't know if any of you guys did that. It was very popular at my lower school. And then for this, so this bit is probably the more sort of difficult bit. So you have to pinch it again, like here. So pinch, so you see the crease there. Pinch that this way, and then you do it to create the square. So again, you just crease that down. And you have a happy little squash book. It goes in and out. I hope that made sense. Because when you're doing it, it sounds easy, but when you haven't done it before, you just kind of like, what? So yeah, it's just a lot of pinching and a lot of folding. Kind of like a little bit like origami, but I've never been good at origami, so that's probably why it took me a little while to get the hang of it. So that is how you make the base, and then you can decorate it. So what I did, I trimmed the bits of paper. I initially trimmed it to the square size, just underneath, probably just a little bit underneath, so you can still see a border, just to give that colour effect. And then I halved it, maybe trimmed a little bit more off of the triangles just so it can create a border. But that's what I did for these guys, and then squares for the middle. So yeah, that is how I did it. I'll now refer you back to the actual video that I did of me sticking everything down on this guy here. And I don't know who I'm going to send this to yet, so I don't know what I'm going to use it for. So if I have like a new pen pal, I might use this as an about me thing, which I kind of like the idea of. So you can do this for any type of, yeah, so you can just slip that into this into a flip book or whatever, or file folder, or whatever you file folder, or you could slip that into like a pen pal folder type thing, so that it is a letter, but it's, you know, sometimes when you fold letters, if you've written a lot, it just kind of like, it just looks a bit weird. So this is an alternative to that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall speak to you guys soon. Bye for now.